Sure, this is Michael with Insurance Agency Automation Associates, your favorite AMS 360 consultant and trainer. I'm here today demonstrating a new feature that's starting to come out, and I noticed it on one of my client systems here recently. I'm inside of a customer here, doesn't matter if it's customer, personal, or commercial, and there's a new button right over here. Additional customer information. If I click that, I see social security number, marital status, date of birth, driver's license, occupation, year employed. That's all personal line based. And then I see down here below it, business entity, in business sense, NAICS, SIC code, GL code, federal ID, and the DUNS number, which are all things that are very valuable to us. So that's a nice, neat little tool. Yeah, some of that, like for the NAICS and the SIC number, I can add to the summary line up here by clicking the summary gear here, and I can add it based on the information that's in here. But it's not as much as I might need. For example, the year, the business entity, corporation, and things like that in business sense. And that information flows from the customer center here to a court applications or policy detail, which creates a court applications, and it flows to other areas, and I can do other reporting on them if I have them. So that's why it's valuable to have. But it's also nice to be able to click that button when you're inside of a customer, maybe on the phone with a customer, or you're setting up a new customer or updating a previous customer. Maybe they left for a couple of months or years and they're coming back. And it's nice to be able to capture that information and make sure that it's there so that we can do things with it later. Those of you that are familiar with me, I talk a lot about data quality, data hygiene, and that's one of those things. By having that information in there, it flows to other areas. Plus, I can run reports or queries based on that information. Just an example on the NAICS or SIC code. If I wanted to see, let's say I was good about putting that information in, and I'm talking about commercial lines here in this particular context. Personal lines has other uses for this information, but in commercial line context here, let's say I have a new business submission that has a certain SIC code or GL code, and its premium base or rating base is gross receipts or something like that. Maybe I don't have a lot of these, or maybe I don't know if I have a lot of these. I can run a report, well, not really a report, I can run a target list and use some other tools to say, show me other policies with this class code and this range of gross receipts, and which carriers have we been successful in placing it with in the last whatever time frame. That's valuable information for me. I can also just gather that information across the entire database, quarterly, monthly, maybe 6 months to a year, which is really not sufficient enough, but I could run that, put it into Power BI pivot table and a couple other areas, and then I can see where my book of business is, not just which carriers, which class codes, which SIC code, which NAICS, and I can use that as an appetite list and push it against the carrier's appetite list or a new relationship I have. Maybe get a new carrier recently. I can say, show me your appetite list by whatever the criteria, SIC code, GL code, and I can go there and say, what do I already have that maybe I can place there? Particularly if I have that in surplus lines. Now, there may be other reasons it's in surplus lines, loss ratio, operations, something like that, but I can use that to reallocate my book of business and move things around to the right places, even if it stays in the wholesale or MGA or excess and surplus, whatever you want to call it. Just being able to get it into a single relationship that have multiple relationships. Maybe I got 4 E&S relationships, and maybe I can narrow that down to 2 and get better quality of service and better contingencies, maybe even. There's a whole lot of things that can go into this. I just wanted to demonstrate that real quick. Not sure when it started coming out. I noticed it in this agency, and it's the only one of my current agencies that I'm in frequently that has it. And they're not by any stretch an early adopter, so it'd be interesting to see what they're in. The current version for this particular agency, current version is 2023 R3, so that is the most current. They're in an early list. I got other agencies that I deal with that are not yet on that release, so 2023 R3, that's the very newest release. If we want to see what else is in those release notes, we can hit click Help over here, which I've already done in the background, and search. In my case, I searched for 2023 R3. I got these release notes here. I've already opened them, and here's the things that are coming out in that 2023 release. And you can see over here that the 2023 R2 and the 2023 R1. Shortly, I'm going to have a new video release series coming about the Agency 1 and a couple other things that Vertafore is doing that we talked about in conference back in April. But here we can see all the release notes coming out. I'll do another video about this in the next couple of days, weeks, because there's a lot there, but some of them are for accounting, some of them are for other things. But you can see here there's some nice interesting things. So the categories they put them into, and they tell us that it comes from ideas if they've got that little light bulb there. This is where we can see what their release notes are. In any case, that's it for today. I just wanted to pop that out of there because I saw that recently, actually about a month ago, and it's been catching my eye and how much I love that. So that's it for today. See you next time. Thank you.